on here. We'll get Blined. I want to get him on here. We need to hear. You should know I'm learning Hurrius with my son Maish. Wow. Beis Amud Beis, the bottom there. What a Gemara.
We're waiting for Rabbi Kessler to help us out to get some more clarity on that.
Yeah. Once you get it, it's good. Blined, I'd love to talk over you. Me and Maish are handling. We're having an excellent time, Barsha. Me and Hudi, I should say.
Cool.
Thank you, Naftala. Thank you. Shalom Katzov, thank you for coming. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom, you're unmuted.
Shalom, Rabbi.
How's everything?
B'chazdei Hashem, we're doing great.
It means a lot that year. Are you in Eretz Yisrael?
Yeah.
Ashreichem. Thank
They're
you,
singing
Shalom.
it outside.
Excellent. You and your mishpacha should feel good.
Amen.
Thank you, MD, for being on. Thank you very, very much, MD, for being on. The whole Fried mishpacha. What an inspiring family. Thank you very, very much for being on, MD and mishpacha. Yehuda, thank you, Yehuda. I need to hear that. I'm gonna hear it yet, Yehuda. Thank you. Rabbi said, I wanted to learn. Be'ez Hashem, we're holding Lamed days of Sphere Seimer. We're not so clear, Shmuley. How are we doing now, Shmuley? Not good. Wow. Okay, let's see what we can do here. That is a.
Might be no problem, man. You're trying to go back to no problem.
Are we better now, Shmuley? Chazdei Hashem. Thank you, Yaakov. Rabbi said, I wanted on Lamed Beis. Shmuley Grossberger, thank you for being here. It's Lamed Beis of the Omer. Leiv. And on today, Leiv of the Omer, I wanted to start being Meichen. We all know Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. His Yomi Lula is on Lag BaOmer is tonight. And I wanted to start preparing for Lag BaOmer, for the Behi Lula of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. I wanted to learn a Gemara Lamed Gimel Lamed Beis in Shabbos with the Chevra. Before we learn that Gemara, I wanted to tell you two things about Rav Shimon Bar Yochai that I wanted to learn with the Chevra. There's really a big inyan. I want to learn, before we learn the Gemara Shabbos Taf Lamed Gimel about Rav Shimon Bar Yochai and study the story a little bit, I wanted to study two things about Rav Shimon Bar Yochai that I wanted to share with you. One is the Gemara Makkos that Rav Shimon Bar Yochai says in the Mishnah in Chav Gimel Amud Aleph that turns over in Chav Gimel Amud Beis. He says, Kol hayoshev lo yaver aveira. Whoever is not transgressing aveira, noisen lo schar ka'isa mitzvah. You get the schar of actively doing a mitzvah. That Rav Shimon Bar Yochai taught us that if somebody's just passive, they're not over an Aveira, they're passive, but if they bedav to do it, because Hashem said not to do it, they have to bedav, I'm not doing it because Hashem said, Ezra Shulman's chest tattoo. That Ezra Shulman, why isn't he going right now and going to the tattoo parlor and getting a chest tattoo? Why isn't Dan Kalish going and getting a muscle tattoo? Because the Rabbi Shalom said so. Right now, I'm Mikayim, I get schar ka'isa mitzvah of actively doing a mitzvah. That's what Shimon Bar Yochai teaches us. We live, Rabbi Say, in a very physical world. What's done, it's a very, very physical world. If we see a building was built. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai taught us Tyrus Hanister. People hear Kabbalah like it's turning somebody into a frog. Tyrus Hanister is the Pnimius HaTorah. Tyrus Hanister is there's a world that we can't see, a world that's not direct from our actions, but a world of reactions. There's a world of Ruchni that's real, that's completely real. And Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, in that world, he taught us a real world of Nistar, of that which we can see, of that which is deeper. It's so appropriate. Shimon Bar Yochai taught us. Reb Shimon Yochai taught us, and in our world of creation, so if a guy didn't put a tattoo on, he didn't do anything. There's nothing you can see. There's no schar ka'oisei mitzvah. To listen to the lashon. Kol hayoshev le'avra averin nois le'schar ka'oisei mitzvah. What's he saying? You weren't oisei mitzvah. You didn't do a mitzvah. That's in our world of action. So you can't say somebody who sat down and didn't put on a tattoo, you can't say it was oisei, get schar ka'oisei mitzvah. In the world of truth, Rabbi say, each machshava tova, if somebody with a machshava tova did, or if somebody with a machshava tova didn't do, that was an accomplishment. That brings, and that's a creation of Kiddush Shamayim. In his world of Nistar, that's Emes. In his world, that's called a Maisa. I'm fascinated. We're going to come after 120 and we're going to get schar for things that we wanted to do badly. I want to say, Chevra, in the Matziv we're in with Corona, we all badly won our shuls. We won our shuls so badly. We badly want to daven. We want to go to shul. That's a huge thing. That's a huge accomplishment. Building Ratzon, bringing out Ratzon. The fact that there exists that Ratzon is huge. If somebody wants to do a mitzvah v'nenas v'layasa, is the Torah treats it as if he did it. The Ratzon Tov is huge. And to have that Ratzon Tov, to help bring out the Ratzon Tov. In yeshiva, a bacher comes in 10th grade. I want, through relationship, through connection, to bring out a Ratzon Tov. It is huge that after 10th grade, a bacher wants to learn Torah. I'm not talking about if he learned yet. He wants to learn. He wants to daven, to help, to facilitate. That Ratzon is in us. And different things disturb the Ratzon. When we get in touch with that Ratzon, today there's a tremendous Ratzon for our Batei Knesiyos, for our shuls. There's a tremendous Ratzon for our yeshivas. It's very important, that Ratzon. One of the great acts of our history is Avram Avinu had a Ratzon to give up his son, L'man Hashem. The Akedah never happened, but Avram Avinu wanted it. That's the great Maisa. That Avram Avinu had such a Ratzon Tov. Good point. Yaakov stellt zu Mizmar Shir Chanukah Sabayis LeDavid, that David HaMelech gets credit for the Chanukah Sabayis. He wasn't there, but he had a Ratzon for it. And Rosh Shimon Bar Yochai taught us that whoever sits down and decides not to do an Aveira is a big zach. That's a Ratzon Tov. That's an action in a world that matters, machshava. But I just wanted to point this out. A guy can get off a plane, and it's important to practice this. And you're all hungry, and you pass by a McDonald's, you could just say, shucks, I need to find a kosher restaurant. Practice saying that I'd love to eat there, but you know why I'm not? Because God was geyser. You just mamish or Shimon Bar Yochai. You have a world where you did something. Where you push it nice schar ka'oisei mitzvah. What a machshava tova. In the middle of that airport, you say, I'm hungry. You're at a rest stop driving somewhere. And you're really, really hungry. And there's a restaurant there. It will be gewaldig to go in there. But I want to keep mitzvahs Hashem. It would be geschmack to have a burger there. But I want to keep mitzvahs Hashem. That machshava tov is very important. Learn to have that machshava. Let that machshava happen. Work it out in your brain. It would be wonderful to eat there, but Hashem was geyser, and I'm going to follow the commands of my Adon in Hashem. I'm a loyalist to Hashem. What a precious thought to allow. What a precious thought to experience. So that was one of Shimon Bar Yochai that I wanted to share with the Chevra. I want to share a second of Shimon Bar Yochai with the Chevra. And I would like to share this as follows. The Gemara says in Me'ilah, says that there was a gzeira. The government made a gzeira against the Yidden, and they were geyser against three things: Shabbos, Mila, and Nida. Very fascinating. Shabbos, Mila, and Nida. Shabbos, we understand. That's what the ice. That's Shabbos is a sign of our connection to Hashem. The Goyim were geyser. They were geyser against Bris Milah. It's a Gemara Yud Zayin and Me'ilah. They were geyser against Bris Milah, the mark on the body of a Yid of his connection to Hashem. The third thing they were geyser is Nida. Fascinatingly, they were geyser against the dinim of Nida. It says that who Klal Yisrael send. We were looking for somebody to be mevatel the Gzeiros, Yo-Yo. We needed to get rid of the Gzeiros of the kingdom. They were geyser against these three things. We sent Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Chazal said he was Melumid Benisim. He had a lot of miracles. He was Melumid Benisim. Let us send Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Perhaps the depth that we can explain, he was Melumid Benisim means that he lived with Hashem. Nisim means to see openly Yad Hashem. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai was Bechena, he lived with Hashem. Another name, Chazal tell us, Reb Shimon Bar Yochai had another name. His name was Shabbos, by the way. He was called in different Chazal, he was called Shabbos. He was Bechena, living with Hashem. So the one who lived with Hashem could be Mevatel the Gzeira against Shabbos, against Milah. That's a Yid living with Hashem. A Yid Shabbos announcing Hashem is the creator, making Kiddush. Milah, the ice on our body of our connection to Hashem. I want to say, Ba'if Drash, what is it about Nida? They try to be Mevatel Nida, and Reb Shimon ben Yochai established that we had the mitzvah of Nida. I want to say, Ba'if Drash, that we spoke about that a Yid has a relationship more than physical. The halachos of Nida are the halachos that a Yid has a kesher that's more than physical. There's a physical relationship, but then there's something that runs deeper. And a Yid's mechazik with his mishpacha, he has a physical relationship, but it runs deeper than the physical. And they wanted to be mevatel this din of Nida. They wanted to be mevatel this sense that it's shaykh for a connection to run deeper than physical, for an eternal connection. It was the same knock against Shabbos that you can't be the ones who connect to the eternal one. A knock against Milah that you can't have an ice on your body, that there's something more than physical, that you can connect to the eternal one. And they made against Nida, we're only as much as physical is. They were mevatel mitzvahs Nida. And Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, who's bechenas kirvas Hashem, who's bechena, there's more than the physical, who's bechenas Torahs Hanistar, who's bechena this Gemara and Makkos, that if you just don't do it loud, ka'isem aisem mitzvah, there's more than the physical. That loyalty, that sincerity, you didn't build anything, but you get schar ka'isem mitzvah. He's the one who was mevatel the gzeira against Nida. I'm afraid to say it because I don't like saying my own Torah, especially on topics of Nister that I don't know much about, but I think there may be something here I wanted to share with you, B'derech Efsher. And Reb Shimon Yochai Taka went and was mevatel the gzeira. This is not my own, this is the truth that in the song we compose about Bar Yochai. So we say, Bar Yochai, Nimshachta Ashrecha. Nimshachta Ashrecha means those that anointed you are fortunate. We're fortunate he was our leader. Then we say Shemen Sasai Mechaverecha. What's Shemen? He had no oil. We anoint the Kohen Gadol, we pour oil on him. Even a Melech, we find the pouring oil. He wasn't the Kohen Gadol, Shimon Bar Yochai, and he wasn't the Melech. What's the Shemen? The oil, the joyous oil, Mechaverecha, more than his friends. What are we talking about? Shemen. But Shemen stands for Shabbos, Milah, and Nida. He was bevatel the gzeira against Shemen. Shemen Sasa Mechaverecha, he got us back, Shemen. That alludes to the Gemara that alludes to the Gemara in Milah that Reb Shimon Bar Yochai was mevatel the gzeira against Shemen, Shabbos, Milah, and Nida. We'll discuss a different shot in a few minutes about the Shemen, what it refers to, but I want to get back to sugyas that we that we have more shaykhs to. So let's learn together, Rabbi say. Let's learn together Gemara Lamed Gimel Lamed Beis and Shabbos. We'll learn parts of the Gemara, this amazing, this fascinating Gemara that all of us have learned before, but in preparation for Rav Shimon Bar Yochai's Yartzeit, for the Yom Hilula, let us learn this Gemara Lamed Gimel Lamed Beis and Shabbos. Says the Gemara, the Yasvi, Reb Yehuda, Reb Yossi, Reb Shimon. Reb Yehuda, Reb Yossi, and Reb Shimon were sitting. The Yosef Yehuda ben Gerim Gabayu, and Yehuda ben Gerim was sitting by those three great Tanoim, Reb Yehuda, Reb Yossi, and Reb Shimon. Pasach Reb Yehuda v'Omer. Reb Yehuda started. He's the first one to speak. And Reb Yehuda says, "Kamanoim maseyim shalom azu." How precious are the deeds of this nation of the Romans. I'm so impressed with their actions of the Romans. Tiknu shukim, they made marketplaces. What fine people. They made marketplaces. We have places to shop, to buy food. Gewaldig, they're so kind. Look at the Romans, they made marketplaces. Tiknu gesharim, look at the bridges they made. How would we cross over? How would we go to that precious city of Lakewood if not for the Verrazano Bridge? Look at the Romans. They're so kind that they made gesharim, they made bridges. We can cross over and travel freely. Tiknu merchtzais, they made bathhouses. We could get ready for Shabbos Kodesh. We could shower. We could take care of ourselves. Tiknu merchtzais gewaldig. That's what Rabbi Yehuda was mishabeach the Romans, that we owe so much hakaras hatov. We have so much gratitude to the Romans for their actions. Rabbi Yossi shasak. Rabbi Yossi was silent. He didn't respond to the words of Rabbi Yehuda. Then Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. Rav Shimon Bar Yochai responded. V'amra, and he said back to Rabbi Yehuda, Kol ma shetiknu le'tiknu l'tzarech atzman. Whatever they created, they did selfishly. Now I'm going to read Rashi. I'm going to read the Gemara, and then we'll talk about Rashi. Said Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, they did it selfishly. Tiknu shukim l'haisha bem zaynis. They made marketplaces to put zaynis there, to do averos. Merchtzais, they made bathhouses la'adin ben atzman, to pleasure for themselves. Gesharim, they made bridges, little ben meches, to take taxes. Now, what was Rav Shimon Bar Yochai saying? Now, the first thing to know is he said they didn't have kavanah. Remember, Rav Shimon Bar Yochai taught us all over Shas, a world beyond action, a world of kavanah. Remember Rav Shimon Bar Yochai in Makkas. If you are passive, but you have a kavanah toiv, you're not getting a tattoo on your bicep, you get schar and asiyah. He taught us about a world of nistar, about a world of kavanah. Of course, Rav Shimon Bar Yochai holds, if somebody's einay miskaven on Shabbos, if they do a malacha on Shabbos and they're einay miskaven, of course, Rav Shimon holds your pater, because he taught us about a world that matters your kavanah, your intention. So Shimon holds if you do a malacha on Shabbos and you're einay miskaven and you don't have kavanah, it's not called a chilul Shabbos. You're pater. You're not chayiv v'chatas. You're not chayiv b'meizid misa. It's pater from misa, because a world of machshava, you need a kavanah in order to have a merida. He taught us about a world of thought. He showed us a new world of nistar, which can't be seen. So obviously, Reb Shimon says here that don't tell me they did these actions and you should have hakaras hatov. They had no kavanah. They didn't have intention for our goodness. That's what Reb Shimon said. Now, L'maaseh Rabbi say, what happens if somebody does for us and doesn't have intention? Do you owe hakaras hatov? My father taught me my whole life that you walk into a store and the salesman sells you something, your own gratitude. And you have to appreciate, not say thank you etiquette. He didn't teach me Western etiquette. Western etiquette's very nice. It's pleasant and nice to say thank you. But my father taught me to appreciate. He taught me that if you're trying to go over a bridge and the toll guy raises the bar for you, he presses a button, you give him the $2 and he raises the button and it goes up, the bar goes up, letting you pass the bridge, you owe him gratitude. Because if he didn't press that button, you weren't going over the bridge. His kavanah's intention, I don't know what his intention is. My dad taught me that you owe akar satayv. You don't start subscribing reasons. Say, well, he only did it. So what happened to Rav Shimon Bar Yochai? Rav Shimon Bar Yochai seems to say, if the person doesn't have kavanah for me, I don't know gratitude. Rabbi Yehuda, who of course holds Einan Miskavin is chayiv, Rabbi Yehuda says they did a pula for me. You owe gratitude. That's Rabbi Yehuda says. Is Rav Shimon Bar Yochai arguing on that? Rav Shimon Bar Yochai seems to say, well, they didn't do it for me. I don't know gratitude. But Rabbi said there's a diyuk not that way. Of course, if somebody does for us, we don't start giving cheshbonis. Well, maybe they didn't do it altruistically. They didn't do it for me. We don't do that. Why? I have a raya. Even Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, who says it matters kavana, but I have the following raya Yehuda group. Yehuda, listen to this. Shua, Frank, listen to my raya. Gav, tell me if you're masking, Gavi. Kovi Leiter, tell me if you're masking to my raya. Listen to this. The Gemara says that Rabbi Yehuda praises the Romans. Ask your father, my raya. Rabbi Yehuda says we owe gratitude to the Romans, David Levinger, because they build bridges. Said Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, what do you mean gratitude? They made it there. Said Reb Shimon, they did it to put zainos, to do znus, to do bad things. Why do you have to say they did it to do bad things? Why didn't he just say they did it for themselves, selfishly? They wanted to buy stuff. They didn't do it so Kalish can get a cake. They did it because they want to buy a cake. Why does he say they did it to put zainos in the marketplace? He should have said they did it selfishly. When he says they built bridges, so he should have said they didn't do it so Kalish can get to Lakewood. They did it so they can cross over and get to some gambling place. I don't know, get to the beaches in New Jersey. Why does he say they did, when he says they built bridges, he doesn't say selfishly, he says to steal money from people. Lito me'ameches, to take taxes. He doesn't mean the toll money, by say. He should just say they did it for their own purpose, selfishly. But he says they did it to enforce money. He doesn't mean the money. When you pay money to get over a bridge, you're paying well-deserved money because they need to fix the roads in the whole state. That's the way the government collects taxes. It's an honor. It's wonderful to give money to get over the bridge. You're paying for roads that we enjoy. You're paying for the garbage pickup. You're paying for all different things when you pay a toll. And your nana, you gain from those things. You gain, certainly, the government takes wonderful care of us. So why did he say that when they built bridges, just say they did it selfishly? It's not what Rav Shimon Bar Yochai says. By the shukim, he says they did it for znus. By the bridges, he said they wanted to rob us and take money they don't deserve. Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, l'chayra pashtus, is maida that when somebody does you a favor, you owe akar satov. Even Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, who taught us the world of machshava, agrees, pashtus hagemara, that if they did, this is the pashtus. I'm not saying everybody agrees to Dan Kalish, but I have a Messiah from my tata, not in this Gemara, but in life. And Pashup Shat, Torah v'lilmad ani tzarich. The Gemara doesn't say they did it selfishly. If they did it selfishly, even Reb Shimon Bar Yochai would be maskim. He introduced us to a world of machshava, but there's also a world of asiyah. They built us a marketplace. You owe akar satayv. We are chayiv akar satayv to the American government. Tremendous akar satayv. They do us kindness. My garbage was picked up this morning. What a chesed. Overflowing pails. 4 in the morning, about 4:30. A fella got up early and he collected my garbage. I owe that guy gratitude. I owe that guy tremendous gratitude. What a hero. What a precious human being. He took away my garbage. He didn't make the mess. Me and my family had garbage and he collected it. And chas v'shalom to start saying he only did it for his own intention, that's not, so what? You don't have to be lishma. You did something for me. I owe you gratitude. Don't start subscribing reasons. You owe gratitude. You got a meister that was good for you. Of course, if there's kavanah to you, l'toiv is a lot better even. So what was Rav Shimon Bar Yochai saying? He doesn't say they did it selfishly. He said they did it with bad intentions. There was sinister thoughts. They make shukim, they want znus. If they do it in a sinister way, then you're not mechuyev hakor satov. A bacher asked me, his Rebbe threw him out of yeshiva and hurt him. And then b'siyata d'shmaya, he came to our yeshiva and he saved us. He mamish saved our lives. We were zoiche to have him. He became a big ben Torah. So he asked me, does he owe hakor satov to the yid who threw him out? Does he owe gratitude? Should he write a letter to the guy? Thank you, you saved my life. So I told him, it depends. If he did it l'shem shamayim, you feel he had your kavanah tova in mind, so then you owe gratitude. If he did it to hurt you, he was protecting his brand, and you didn't fit his brand, then you don't owe hakor satov. Then I can't say you owe gratitude. I don't say you can thank him. I don't say you chayiv gratitude. Then it would, if the machshava was bad for you, then you don't know gratitude. If somebody hits us and we go to the hospital, chas v'shalom, we have to go to the hospital. And because we went to the hospital, we met a guy in the bed over, and we get $1 million business deal with the guy in the bed over. Do we owe hakor satov to the guy who smacked us? No. Why? I got good from it because he had sinister intentions. If a person's trying to hurt me, that's what Shimon Ben Yochai taught us. Said Shimon Ben Yochai, their intentions were sinister. They made shukim to put zaynos. They had sinister kavanos. He says the gesharim were little man meches. They were trying to rob from me. The fact that could be pshat. He said their kavan. I admit that I'm bothered by the mertzos, the bathhouses, where it says on the bathhouses they did la'adin behem, to have idun. But I noticed he doesn't say the bathhouses were meant to wash themselves. Why does he say la'adin ben atzmam, to have these like luxurious pleasures? He should have said it wasn't for me to get clean, it's for them to get clean. The answer is right, that they had sinister intentions. They were overindulging in Olam Hazeh. It was bad intentions. So then Rav Shimon Bar Yochai said, if they're bad intentions, you're not mechuyev to be makir tov. I have to be honest, I'm misopik. It could be, and somebody told me, Rav Aryeh Weishli, to my chaver, told me that Rav Moshe Feinstein of Dibros Moshe brings a footnote that it's a machloikis, but it's Torah v'lomar ani tzarich. I'm telling you the way it appears to me is that Rabbi Yehuda and Reb Shimon agree that you're chayiv hakor satov. So my father, it's Messiah from my tata Avi Meiri. It looks like both Tanoim agree that if somebody does something for you, be makir tov. And even if you don't start saying, well, their intention was selfish, who cares? Who cares? They did something for you. Yeah, what do you say? So there it's la'adin. It doesn't say to wash themselves. There was some sinister intention of something that was bad for them. La'adin. It doesn't say to wash themselves. When it's sinister intentions, then Rav Shimon Ben Yochai says you don't have to be makir tov. It fascinates me that Rabbi Yehuda l'chayra held that afa pikin, a maisa came to you. It doesn't matter the machshava at all. Rabbi Yehuda holds einay miskaven is chayiv. It's a maisa. It's a pula. Amazing. Rabbi Yehuda says hakor satov, even sinister kavanis. Shimon Bar Yochai says sinister kavanis, no hakor satov. Let's go on. Halach Yehuda ben Gerim. Yehuda ben Gerim hears this fascinating dialogue. The Siper Devreim, he tells it over. Big problem. It wasn't meant, some conversations are meant to stay in the Beis Medrash. Sometimes you have to turn off the recording, Chevra. Yehuda ben Gerim didn't turn off the recording. He sent it out, a shir that wasn't meant to be sent out. Siper Devreim, he sent it out. The Nishmul Malchus, and the Roman government heard about it. They end up hearing what Rav Shimon Bar Yochai said. Amru, the Roman government said, Yehuda she'ila, Yehuda that praised us, Yis'ala, he'll get an elevation. The Roman government made him the Rosh HaMedabrim. Whenever there was a Jewish gathering, they said Rabbi Yehuda speaks first. He was the Rosh HaMedabrim b'chol makom, because the Roman government said, you praised us, you get an elevation. Yaisi Shashasak, Rabbi Yaisi was silent, Yidla, Litzipar, you have to go into Gullus. You didn't defend us, you were silent in this conversation, you go into Gullus. I'm always misupik what Rabbi Yaisi held. He was silent. Was he silent? He really held Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. Was he misupik? L'maisa, he was silent. So the Roman government said, you didn't defend us, you go into Gullus. Shimon Shagina. Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, who knocked us, Yaharib is going to get killed. They paskin, they're going to kill. I'm always amazed at this Gemara, that the Roman government, the powerful government, chaps, how precious the words of the Chachamim are. Here's a conversation in the Beis Medrash, but even they know the words of the Chachamim define reality. The words of the Chachamim are so important. The Roman government was so nervous and so reactive to the words of the Chachamim, rightfully. I always speak in this Gemara in general about the power of words. Avi Wolaski knows one of my favorite pictures in the world. I have it somewhere in the study I'm sitting right now. One of my favorite pictures, Avi, in the world. Everybody knows, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. I asked Mechila, but everybody knows Tiananmen Square. If I would look around for a few minutes in my study, I have the picture in here. But in Tiananmen Square, everybody knows the picture in China. A few college teenagers were making a protest against the Chinese government. And the Chinese government sent Russian MiGs, these big Russian tanks, to try to, I have the picture. So here, everybody could see it. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
For the guy.
Where's the guy? Oh, here he is, here he is. You see that little fellow? And this picture is one of the most famous pictures in the last 50 years of the world. And the media has this picture. Thank you for being here, Rav Aaron Hertzberg. Thank you. The media has this picture of the ultimate mismatch. Russian MiGs, these crazy tanks, lined up, all the gun hole, like facing these couple of teenagers who are speaking out against the Chinese government. And Nassim Ingber knows the power of speech, of sincere speech, that the picture is a mismatch, but the opposite of what people think, Yo-Yo. The real mismatch is all the machines in the world, all the Russian big tanks in the world are much weaker than the ped and the mouth of one human being. Hachayim v'amabes biyad aloshin. Speech is powerful. Countries are toppled with speeches. Revolutions are won with the mouth. Everybody knows that. As communist Russia tried to crush Yidden, to crush the service of Hashem, they had all the power in the world, all the guns and weapons, but the power of the mouth is much stronger. I love that picture and always have it in my study as a reminder to the power of sincerity, to the power of idealism. It's not a mismatch, my friends, not in the way the Western media portrays it. It looks like the Chinese government, what do they care? Let me have that picture again. It's too delicious. What does the Chinese government need a whole bunch of tanks? What is the deal with them? They send a whole bunch of tanks of a couple of kids speaking about freedom. But of course, they know the truth, that those couple of kids speaking about freedom is massively powerful, massively dangerous. This Gemara always reminds me of that. The Roman government, this powerful government reacting to the conversation of a few Tanaim, Reb Yehuda, who says, we owe a Satayv, to Reb Shimon, who says they do it for their own sinister reasons, to Reb Yossi, who was silent, and the government reacts in a fierce way as they know the truth of the power of Chachamim and the power of Emes and the power of Dibur. Comes the Gemara and it says, Azal hu brei. Reb Shimon ben Yochai and his son went, Tashu be midrasha. And they hid in the Beis Medrash so the Romans wouldn't find them. Kol yoim avi maislu de bisayu ripsa. Every day his wife would bring him bread, the kuza de maya, and a measurement of water. The karchi. Every day his wife would bring him food. Ki takiv gzeirasa, when the gzeira got stronger. And now Rav Shimon ben Yochai was worried he'd get caught in the Beis Medrash. Amar le'lebrei. He says to his son, Nashim daitam kal aleim. Ladies have a das kal. Dilma, I'm going to explain in a minute. Dilma mitzayrila. They might torture the wife, umigal yalan, and she'll reveal where we're hidden. Now, what does it mean, ladies are daitam kalis? My wife is much smarter than me. So what does it mean? Ladies are daitam kalis. They have light intellect. They're very smart. The Gemara means ladies can multitask. I can't do two things at once. If I'm thinking and busy with one thing, it's hard for me to hold my kid and talk on the phone at the same time. Because if I'm holding my kid, I'm on this. If I'm talking on the phone, I'm on that. A lady Hashem gave an amazing power. Her mind can grab on to many things. A man, if he decided, I am not telling where somebody's hidden, that's what his mind's thinking about. You could torture the brains out of him, he won't say. A lady's cheshboning many things. Her other kids need her. There's all different cheshbonis. So under torture, it's true she doesn't want to say where her husband is, but it's also true she wants to save the life of her kids. She's worried if they say we'll kill a million other people. There are other factors that can enter her mind. They're not one track minded. They think about all different cheshbonis. So he said to his son, let's hide in a place where nobody knows where we are. Azlu tashub ma'arata. They hid in a cave, and a days happened. Hashem made a charuva. Hashem made a carob tree, the Eina Demaya, and a little wellspring, a little spring. And they sat there. We all know they sat there for years and years and years. I want to fast forward in the story, and there's a part of the story I must share this with you. I wait every year for Lag BaOmer, for this part of the story, and this is, we're going to celebrate for 24 hours. This, I'll be honest, Rabbi say, in many Yom Tovim I celebrate with my Rebbeim. Lag BaOmer is a mysterious Chag, a mysterious day, and I don't have such a Messiah for my Rebbeim about how to celebrate, in what way we celebrate. I don't have such a Messiah. But I have a Messiah on the following inyan that I must learn with the Chevra, and this is what tonight I'm going to sing for hours because of this. And this is what gets me excited, and this is what I want to share with you in the last few minutes today. Everybody listen to this. Reb Shimon ben Yochai is in the cave, and he had massive pain and massive challenges in that cave. His body was racked with Yisurim. And I'm fast forwarding a lot in the Gemara because we're frankly getting out of time. And it says, Shama Reb Pinchas ben Yair Chasnei. Reb Shimon ben Yochai's father-in-law. His father-in-law hears that he's out of the cave. V'nafak la'ape, and he goes to greet his son-in-law, Reb Shimon bar Yochai. He comes out to greet his son-in-law. And he brings his son-in-law to the bathhouse. His son-in-law is racked. His body is devastated, massive pain. He brings him, and the father-in-law is calming, is making his body, massaging his body, which is totally broken. He sees that he has cracks in his body. Reb Pinchas ben Yair, the Torah father-in-law, starts bawling because Nasru Dimas Einei, and the tears of his eyes are dripping. Become tzavchel, and he's screaming, Omar Li, and he says, Oy Li, woe unto me, Sherisicha bikach, that I see you in such condition. Woe unto me, so much pain to see you suffering like this. Reb Pinchas ben Yair cries out in anguish, woe unto me that I see you suffering. Amar Le, please listen to these words, Rabbi say. Amar Le responds, Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, Ashrecha, fortunate, Sherisani Bikach. It's good that you see me like this. Shel Malei Loi, Risani Bikach. If not for these pains, Loi Matsasi Bikach, the greatness that I've acquired would never have happened. Dinei Kara, before Rav Shimon Ben Yochai went to that cave, Ki Avimaksh Rav Shimon Ben Yochai Kosha. Rav Shimon Ben Yochai would ask a question. Av Mefarik le Rav Pinchas Ben Yair Trace Peruke. Rav Pinchas Ben Yair would give 12 answers to every question of Shimon Bar Yochai. L'sayf. But now we, after all this difficulty and growing this with challenges, Ki Avimaksh Rav Pinchas Ben Yair Kosha. Rav Pinchas Ben Yair asks the question. Have Mefarik le Rav Shimon Ben Yochai Esther the Arba Peruke. Rav Shimon Ben Yochai has 24 answers. He says, Ashrecha, it's good, the tsar I went through. Avada, we don't want any more tsar. Lo yehem v'lo scharan. But the tsar we went through in the past and we overcame gave us tremendous greatness. The greatness I have is precisely because of the difficulty. My favorite words in the eulogy, and we will sing this tonight. I'll ask Guy if the guy to sing it. But I ask you today to think about the challenges of your life, and then and only then sing it. My favorite word in the Bar Yochai song is as follows. This piece we will sing and sing tonight. Bar Yochai Moishav Toiv Yashavta. In a very good place you dwelled. Pashtus, the tent was horrible. But we say Moishav Toiv Yashavta. You stayed in a good place. Yoim Nasta, the day you ran away. Yoim Asher Barachta, the day that you ran away. The double lashon is because he ran away twice. The difference between Nas and Barach. Nas is when you run, but nobody's chasing you. That was the first time he hid. But then he had to hit better because the Gzeira was increasing. They were chasing him. Yoim Asher Barachta. B'ma'aras surim shamadata. Here's the words. In that rock cave that you dwelled, b'ma'aras surim shamadata, in the rock cave that caused tremendous anguish, sham kanisa hoitcha v'adarecha, sham kanisa hoitcha v'adarecha, there you acquire your beauty. Precisely there, ashrecha, precisely there you acquire your beauty. My Rebbe, who's always been honest with me, is not one for hyperbole, not one for exaggeration. My Rebbe told me that he could see on a human being who went through tsaru, unique beauty that he sees on nobody else. Tonight, Tzviras HaOmer is going to be Lag BaOmer. Lag BaOmer, and Shmuley Shus is showing those words on the Waterbury sweatshirt. I need to thank you, Shmuley. I'm highlighting you. 1 second. Everybody, b'ma'aras surim shamadata, sham kanisa hoitcha v'adarecha. In your rock cave that you stayed, there you acquired your beauty, Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. And this point, Rabbi say, this point, that difficulty gives a person beauty, overcoming difficulty, responding in a sincere way to challenges, brings out the beauty of a person. Sham kanisa hoitcha v'adarecha. Lag BaOmer, the day of the yahrzeit of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, is beauty of beauty. Haid Shebahaid, the 5th day of the 5th week, the 5th Sphira, the 5th week, which is Haid. Beauty of beauty is the day of his yahrzeit. He is the person who brought this out. B'ma'aras surim shamadata. Everybody has to visualize your bunker, your challenges, your ma'aras surim. The rock cave that you and I encountered, Sham Kanisa Hoitcha V'adarecha. These words have become the rallying cry of our yeshiva. We have chaverim who've been through difficult times, and they don't, not in an unrealistic way. They don't say, "Yay, I'm so happy." No, it's difficult, and they daven for Hashem for good times. But we recognize the challenges that we have faced. Sham Kanisa Hoitcha V'adarecha. We have acquired a special beauty, a special nikud of our lives, that we have a sincerity and authenticity, that we've come deeper than our bodies. deeper than the physical. Rav Shimon ben Yochai, who taught us something deeper, Torah Hanistar, something more sophisticated, in places, in a physical place that's difficult. A Ma'ara Surim, a rock cave that's hard, that's crushing on the body. But the person rises to find something more, to find something deeper, to find something meaningful. Sham, precisely over there, that we overcome challenges, that we overcome all different difficulties that we face in this world. Sham kanisa hoitcha v'adarecha. There we acquire our beauty. There's a praise said of Shimon bar Yochai later in the song that I think it's probably the greatest praise I ever heard in my life. We're friends with Yehuda Gradko. Yehuda Gradko is a good praiser. He always says nice things to people and lifts their spirits. If Yehuda Gradko, even Yehuda Gradko, tell me if in your life you ever praised somebody like this. Avi will ask you, this is one of the nicest praises I've ever heard in my life. This praise is like wild, is totally wild. And the praise, 4 words of praise that we say, it's in the 4th stanza of the Bar Yochai song. It starts, Bar Yochai v'lestei tapuchim alisa. You went to the field of apples. This is talking about Kabbalistic terms. And we say at the end, listen to these 4 words of praise, Shimon bar Yochai. Nase Adam nemar bavurecha. When God said, let us make man, he was talking about you. Nasa Adam, when God said, let me create man, nemar bavurecha, was going on you. We like to think in our yeshiva, every yeshiva says, Nasa Adam, let us make a man. Every yeshiva says that. I want to ask Yosef Mamet to share Divrei Torah tomorrow morning, tomorrow at 2, sometime in that Seder, to share a few minutes, because in our yeshiva, every yeshiva says Nasa Adam. Come, let's help create, let's be involved in the formation of a human being. I say on Yosef Mamet, Nasa Adam, that was said in our yeshiva, Nemar Bavarecha, we were talking about you, Yosef. So share with us words. But this praise, I have to ask Yosef, is he maskim? A little bit chutzpahdik of me. Yosef, is it shaykh tomorrow? You can share with us 5-7 minutes of Divrei Torah.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Yosef. Thank you. I'm like the meanest guy. Like I put him on the spot. He's a nice guy too. What's he supposed to say? No, but okay. I asked Michiel also. But Lemaisa, Yosef will share with us. But these praise Rav Shimon bar Yochai. Nasa Adam, let us make man, Nemar Bavurecha. We would talk, Hashem was talking about you. You taught the world to rise above difficulties. You said to your father-in-law, Ashrecha Sharisani B'kach. The difficulties I overcame helped create my greatness. And I say to us all, not just to sing it, let us learn it in our lives. All of us have a different form of a Ma'ara Surim, our own rock caves. Our own difficult physical matzavim, difficult matzavim, more than physical as well. But each of us in our Ma'ara Surim have an opportunity, Sham Kanisa Hoitcha V'adarecha, to acquire a special beauty, the beauty of overcoming, the beauty of conquering, the beauty of showing loyalty in difficult times, the beauty of finding more, finding something deeper, the beauty of overcoming, that special beauty that Rav Shimon bar Yochai said, Ashrecha, you're fortunate to see that my greatness came precisely because I overcame. Those words are a great charge, Rabbi say, are a great charge in our life. Sham kanisa hoitcha v'adarecha. I'm going to ask you to join me. Tonight at 8:30 will not be the typical Avay Shir. Tonight will be a Lag BaOmer celebration at 8:30. I'm going to ask guys to come with instruments, but everybody who gets on should first say those words. You have to say that standard. Ba yoichoy, ay moishavto yoshavto, yovoy nasto, yoy masher barochto. That's for sure, but then say the last words. B'mor asurim she'omadeta, shom konisa hoitcha v'adarecha, And then together we have to over and over, Sham Kanisa Hoitcha Vadarecha. But to knock it into ourselves, we have questions, we have difficulties, we've encountered things in our life, and we're human beings. We ask Hashem for goodness the way we want the goodness going forward. But we recognize about the challenges that they are and were opportunities, the special beauty that a person has who overcomes challenges. Sham Kanisa, there you acquired your special beauty. So I wanted to share this with the Chevra, share this Gemara with the Chevra. I thank everybody so much for coming today. Thank you, Aaron Hertzberg. Thank you, Naftali. Thank you, Chevra, for joining. Thank you, Grandma, for joining today. I want to invite everybody at 8:30 tonight. Again, will not be the typical Avay Shir. Tonight we'll be having a Lag BaOmer celebration. I'll ask people if maybe we'll count together. It is around the time of counting at 8:30. So Belina Eder will count maybe together, separate we'll figure out at 8:30. And then Be'ez Hashem will have singing and songs. I asked the Chevra to come on with their guitars, to sing together. And specifically this vert that the difficulties of life produce for us this great leader who taught us there's so much more than the physical. This great leader who taught us about machshava taiva, who taught us about that if you just think, I'm not doing it out of loyalty to Hashem, you get schar v'maisa asiyah, because there's a world of machshava. He taught us that despite challenges, all different difficulties, and not despite, but specifically in overcoming there, Sham Kanisa, there we acquire Hoitcha Vadarecha. Yaakov Fenig, thank you so much for coming on. Effie, thank you for coming on. Morty Helen, it means a lot. Shlomo Farkas is here. Tzvi Kress is here. Thank you, Aaron Friedberg. Thank you, Mendy Hech. Thank you for joining. Yitzi Devor, I am fired up. He has been practicing guitar rightfully and is going to get ready. I hope he can perform for us on Lag BaOmer. Yitzi will share with us. Wow, a lot of different thoughts. I'm going to get to you, Yehuda. I thank Momo Ringo. You look beautiful in tefillin. Show off those glorious pair. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Momo, for being here. Thank you. And I invite the Olam tonight. Thank you, Nafti, very much. Menachem Snyder always being here and bringing. Tonight, Menachem, you're going to sing those words. Practice. That second stanza of Bar Yochai. I don't promise to go through the whole Bar Yochai, but Yol Rachmani, that second stanza, Shmuley, we will nail that second stanza. Shlomo Levinger, thank you for being here. Naftali Kerper, thank you for being here. Everybody, Avi Bertram, it means a lot, Avila, that you're here. Thank you, Avila. Have a wonderful 32nd day of the Omer. Today is Leiv, Sheba Omer. Thank you, Yehuda Bernak. Have a wonderful day. And everybody's please invited. 8:30 tonight for a celebration. There'll be a little divrei Torah. It will not be the typical Avay Shir. Everybody's invited at 8:30. There'll be guest singers as well, but we don't need more. We have the Guris, but we'll have guests as well to join them. And I thank Mordechai Levovitz, everybody, for joining. Have an outstanding day, Rabbi say.